Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the political brown kid here, and today I want to talk to you about black militants, white lovers. So I hope I don't get you guys all riled up today. I know you guys' heads are probably about to explode from this vlog or blog or whatever the heck you want to call what I'm doing. But first, let me set the tone of this conversation real quick. When I was in college, in my HBCU, there was a young black female. She was from Chi-Town, Chicago. Little cute little thing. Petite, sweet, nice to meet. Me and her was we were friends, we would hang out. So one day I just said, look, I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring. So she and I was walking and talking. So then, I asked her out on a date. She kind of looked at me and started blushing. But then turned me down. Yeah, of course. I'm going to get turned down. I'm hideous the way I look. But now the reason why she turned me down. She claimed it wasn't because of my looks, even though I think that was probably the biggest factor. But no, she claimed it. She would have given me a shot, but because she even asked me first, she said, "Well, are you willing to convert?" And I said, "Convert?" She said, "Convert to Islam." I'm NOI. She's Nation of Islam. So she was just basically like, if you're willing to convert, here's the steps that we have to go through. She talked about the courtship process and, what that looked like. And then she talked about, the prayer, and beliefs and, the Quran. And, she talked about a bunch of stuff. And so she was just like, she was like, I know, you and I are gonna connect on a level because we're both black. We've been through the both same experiences. Culturally, we're both the same. Except that she got some Chi-Town, you know, culture, and I got my DC culture. But not that's just geographic. But, she was like, we're both black. So there's that comfort level there. But then you're doing what you do, and I'm agnostic as far as religion is concerned. Always have been really. And she's like, and this is a way of life for me. I mean, not for me, but for people in Islam. She was like, it's a way of life. It's just not something that you just do. It's who you are. It's a part of who you are. And so that's why I kind of want to talk today about this topic, black militants, white lovers, because I'm very confused by it. And I'm going to run down through a list of people, and I know a lot of you people are going to get offended because some of these people are your heroes. You swear by these people because they're on TV and they're in history books, I guess. But it's not to bash anyone really, not for the most part, but it's just to point out some confusion that I have. And let me just go down this list real quick. You know, let's just start off kind of working our way historically, I guess. It's somewhat chronological. Like when you look at a person like Frederick Douglass, first wife was black. And then, I guess once he starts getting a little bit of clout and moving up the socioeconomic ladder, getting the ear of the president, becoming this public figure in the movement, in the race movement, in slavery, then all of a sudden he marries a white woman. And to me, he's probably the oddest person that I'm going to talk about on this list. You think about going back into that time frame, what the climate was, even in free states, even in free areas, free territories. DC's not a state, it's a territory. And Frederick Douglass, I do believe, lived there. Used to go past the Frederick Douglass house in Southeast all the time. We even took a tour of it. I'm assuming that that's the house where he met that white woman and lived. I don't know. But you think about the climate and times during that time. You think that you would have been married? You mean to tell me there was no other black woman in the cause, in the movement, that you could have latched onto and that you probably would have had more in common with? That's what I find odd. I do. I find that very odd. I really do. You look at a person like Thurgood Marshall, spent his life fighting for civil rights for the most part. This is what he became famous for. He married an Asian woman. or yeah, Asian. I think she was from the Philippines, or she was Pan Asian. She was something. She didn't look black to me. I don't think she was black. I'm freestyling off the dome. And these people are deep in the civil rights movement, but yet they have no connection sexually or have any desire for their own people. Harry Belafonte, he's another. Him and Sidney Poitier. I mean, they're before my time. They are before my time. But Sidney Poitier was a big figure. I have no idea why Sidney Poitier was as popular as he was, and I think he became popular. Well, he's popular probably with my parents' generation, I guess. But I think he became this huge figure because America, whether you're white or black, regardless of race, Americans put celebrity figures above and beyond anyone else in this world. You can be a rocket scientist. You know how many doctors have saved lives in hospital rooms right now, as we speak right now. Some doctor is probably regrafting skin for some burn victim who probably had their body 90% burnt, and he's helping that person go and helping that person psychologically and for the betterment of their overall health. And some doctor is doing this on a routine basis. Nurses out here saving people's lives. You don't see the White House inviting these people to any correspondence dinners. You don't see them getting medals of freedom. You got crazy Barack Obama. Yeah, I'm talking about your president, your black guy. I know you guys gonna hate me. And even, I think Biden and even Trump, crazy Trump, all of these presidents wanting to give Dolly Parton a Medal of Freedom. And thankfully, Dolly Parton is like, look, this ain't the time. Look, thankfully, Dolly Parton seems like she's probably one of the few celebrities that have sense. Like, y'all not pinning that thing on me. At least she told them. And then they wanted to stick a statue of her in I guess, in Tennessee. But I mean, at the state level, I guess she's, I can't say that she's not big. She's a big figure. But you think about all of the public servants that have done good in this world and get no recognition. And celebrities come along, they already got money, wealth, fans, and now people want to stick statues to them. And no one ever says, you know what, damn, these doctors and nurses are saving lives every day. The only time these doctors and nurses got any bit of a limelight was when COVID-19 happened. It took a disease that kept everyone in their homes for 900 hours a day for people to say, damn, we ought to thank these doctors. We ought to thank them. You don't see nurses, and you don't even see public servants that help to keep the government going. You don't even see, government workers that work for the SBA that get loans processed, that get your SBA loans processed, or your Social Security payments processed, or your IRS keeps the government checks flowing in to keep the government financially in the black, or at least collecting money. You don't see these people getting invited to, you don't see these people getting invited to inaugurations. You don't see these people getting medals of freedom. You don't see the presidents hanging out, coming by to say hi to these people. But yet, all of these celebrities, Kim Kardashian, like Trump, like, what are you really thinking about? Kim Kardashian's gonna get somebody out of jail? Seriously? It takes that. This is where I'm going with this. So I digressed a little bit because that is a big pet peeve of mine. But Sidney Poitier, I think the only reason why he became popular and famous because he was a black person that won an Oscar back in the 60s or 70s. Whenever he won it, I don't know, 80s, I don't know. The only reason how I know Sidney Poitier, and I'm going to tell you, I loved the three movies that I loved that Sidney Poitier was in. Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby, Uptown Saturday Night, Let's Do It Again, and I forget the name of the third one. The third one, Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier played two con men, went to some school to help some kids out and kind of teach them how to, become, give them etiquette lessons or something like that. But the movie was good too. That wasn't probably the best movie out of all of those, but I forget the name of it. I got them all bookmarked because I'm waiting to buy them all up. I want to get them digital. But Uptown Saturday Night and Let's Do It Again. Fantastic movies. Loved them. Cult classics in my book. Up there with Claudine. Different type of movie than Claudine, but I loved them. But my thing is, but that doesn't give you, just because I liked you in a movie doesn't make you a civil rights leader. But these people become our forefront leaders and we follow them. And we're doing it today in 2020, whatever, because we allow Kanye West and Lil Wayne and all of these rappers to be our civil rights and moral leaders. But I digress. But if you look at Harry Belafonte and Sidney Poitier, they fought for years and years for civil rights so they could marry a white woman. That's what they fought for. That's how I view it. That's the way that I view it. They fought so that they could walk down the street with their white woman. That's what they fought for. Hell, Harry Belafonte told a story. He was popping up in my news feed all 2020. Was it 2020 or 2019? It was one of these years. He was telling stories. He told the story how Martin Luther King's first girlfriend was a white woman. And Martin Luther King was so in love with this white woman, but she couldn't date him anymore because her father said, hey, you can't date that Negro. And so she dumped him. And Martin Luther King was so depressed that he started the civil rights movement. Now I don't know if that's why he started the civil rights movement, but that's the story that he told. He said that Martin Luther King was so depressed. And I guess after that, he was like, man, I got to do something now. We got to integrate. So I got to start the civil rights movement. Free at last, so I can be free. But then he met this light-skinned woman, Coretta Scott King. At least he married a black woman. But you knew he was going to go, I just found it odd that all of our prominent leaders, they all go white or they go very, very light-skinned. So it goes to, so the reason why I'm adding this is about confusion is because it's like you're fighting for black rights, but you don't even love, you're not even in love with a black person. You don't even find a black person desirable in my book. Now, I'm not talking about Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King married black, but also at the same time, you have to wonder, was colorism kind of biting them too? With a lot of these people. I'm going to get ready to go down a list. I'm trying to keep this video short. As short as possible, as short as my other ones. There's this rapper, this female rapper. I don't even know what song she's ever made in life. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I dig her. I used to dig her because she used to be in the trenches on the internet, going in on white people about blackness and about black issues. Azalea Banks. She used to just, every time you turned around, she had a post and she was in some type of beef, fighting for black rights and fighting for this and fighting for that. Then turn around. She was now this is not according to me. This is according to an article that I read, because like I said, she kept popping up in my news feed, so I kept reading stuff on her. I was curious. Come to find out, she don't even date black men. She says, I date white men because I want peace in my home. I can't have peace. I'm paraphrasing here. I'm paraphrasing. Let me just put that out there. But she said something to the effect of, I need peace in my home. I can't fight in my home. And I guess she feels as though black men, always want to be the dominant and want her to be submissive or something. And I'm trying to figure out, damn, what black men has she been dating? Damn, does my wife feel like I'm a total jerk around here? Have I been keeping my wife chained up in the basement or knocking her down a few pegs? I don't know. But it's just, I'm like, damn, what kind of dudes is she involved in? But it's just like, I'm like, what, black men are what? We're all just what? But that's what she said. She said she does not date black men because she wants peace in her home. But yet you're out here going in and just fighting for black. It's just, I find this, to me, it's very contradictory. Again, I'm going back to my original story. Blackness is a way of life. It is, how do you link yourself up with a white man, but yet he comes from this culture that you're apparently fighting so hard against. He comes from this race that you apparently have so much, and you're antagonistic, you're butting heads with. But yet he brings you peace. Your blackness is a way of life. You should feel comfortable with another black person. You don't even have to talk or think about race with a black person. Only time me and my wife think about race is when we here in the United States watching CNN. And I stopped watching CNN a long time ago. I stick to, what is it? Not MSNBC, CNBC. I stick to watching my stocks. The only thing I care about moving is my money. I don't need the news is just a rerun. Every day it's the same stories. And every one of them talk the same every hour. All of them give you breaking news, and it's the same news that the next person broke. It's the same stuff. I not damn sure don't watch Fox because it would make me kick my TV in, and I can't afford to keep replacing TVs. But me and my wife, I don't think I make her. Now I walk around here like an asshole about other things. Now, of course, my wife was just mad at me last night. That's a personal issue. I'll keep that between us. She was mad at me last night. Hopefully she'll feel better this morning when she get up. Maybe I'll make her some eggs and grits. Throw some turkey bacon on the side, some toast. I don't know. But I'm just kind of confused. Like what? We create a bunch of conflict for the black woman. Y'all not happy with us? I'm just thinking about what Azealia Banks said. Look at Nick Cannon. I mean, look at it. Nick Cannon gets on TV. He wears a turban on his head. He's always like he used to do them YouTube platforms talking blackness this, black that. We're the fathers of the universe, the gods. Nick Cannon will spit out all this stuff to you. And the women he dated are racially ambiguous. He's just about to have some more babies. And all of the women that he dated, you think about it from Mariah Carey all the way to whatever new women. I don't even know the names of the women he dated. All of them, racially ambiguous. Light, bright, damn near white. Or you looking at them like, I don't know what this person is. I couldn't tell you. That's what Nick Cannon does. But yet these people are on TV, always talking about they in the fight, in the struggle. Always got a black struggle. John Legend, same thing. John Legend, him and his wife stay in the black struggle. You talk about some civil rights leaders, they need to give these people some badges. I'm surprised they haven't gotten a Medal of Freedom. I guess, Trump wasn't going to give them one. Maybe Biden probably will. I'm not trying to advocate that they should get one, but I know the pattern of these Democrats and of people worshiping celebrities. But people worship these people, but John Legend's one of them. Him and his wife stay in the civil rights movement. And I'm not trying to say, I don't know these people personally. They're probably some wonderful people. But I just find it odd that, these people can stay in a black struggle, but they don't marry black. They just don't. Trevor Noah, he's another one. What is he on MSNBC? He's on one of these shows, constantly talking race this, race mandate. He comes from South Africa. They had apartheid over there when we had segregation. Matter of fact, they had apartheid after our segregation ended. And then he's moving in with a white woman. Y'all know y'all boy Van Jones. Van Jones, the blackest joker on TV. Always race this, race that, race this. Boom, 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 what we need. And I shouldn't have been surprised because it seemed like Barack Obama's whole cabinet was race mixing. Him, what's the girl? His secretary of whatever. I can't even think of her name right now. Once I start these recording, my mind goes blank. But y'all know they thought about she was probably going to get the vice presidential nomination. And I wouldn't have been surprised because she's light-skinned. Joe Biden. Joe Biden already told y'all Barack Obama was a good presidential pick because he was light-skinned and articulate. And that's exactly why he picked Kamala Harris. She's light-skinned and can talk. Can use the proper English. Like the rest of us blacks can't. Like the rest of us blacks are just like, I ain't finna do nothing. I ain't begotten to do nothing, boss man. I have no idea what he thought a brown-skinned person was going to do. Do you know Stacey Abrams wasn't going to get that pick? Joe Biden said, hey, I'm going with this light-skinned person. Because it's the same thing, and this is coming from a liberal Democrat. Liberal Democrats, we'll talk about them white liberals. They just as dangerous as these white conservatives. It's just a different kind of danger. It's foolishness that they spout off from their mouths. But Van Jones, Van Jones hollers all day long, race this, race that, married to a white woman. And Soledad O'Brien, occasionally you'll see Soledad pop up. She was big for people who were younger. She was big in what, like I guess the 90s, I think, when she was on television. She was a news anchor or Dateline. She was on one of them 2020. I have no idea what she was on, but I know she used to be on television. Kind of find out she married to a white man. I guess that's why she got the O'Brien in there. She married to a real Irish man. Maybe he's not Irish. Maybe that's just the way his last name fell. But yeah, she's married to a white man. And occasionally, like I said, she'll pop up. Matter of fact, she just popped up now. She's about to have some special on BET somewhere. Popped up, talking about race. These people think that just because they marry these people think that, yeah, I'm married to a white man, but just because, so I'm going to embed myself in the race struggle to show people that I'm still down for the cause. I'm still a sister, or I'm still a brother, because I'm down and I'm going to fight for you guys. These people do this. And it's just kind of like, seriously? But you're married to, but you couldn't find a black person to be comfortable with. Like now, you see, and these other people aren't really militants, but they want to come out now. The other people that I'm about to talk about, and even Soledad's probably not really a militant, but these are people I'm talking about that are fighting in the civil rights. I don't even know why we use that word, civil rights. That word is so stupid. Racial equality movement. But now Meghan Markle wants to talk race, talk about how the palace made her feel so uncomfortable because they was worried about her child's darkening up. Well, what did you think? You married a white man. Not only did you marry a white man, you married probably some old rich royals that's living in, they're not even royalty. They just given some titles because of where they came from. Like maybe it's because of their lineage, but these people have no power. I never understood why people are so infatuated with Prince Charles, Princess Diana, God rest in peace. There was a tragedy the way she lost her life, but I'm just trying to figure out why people are infatuated with these people. Queen Elizabeth still walking this planet Earth at 90-something, 100-something years of age, and people still treat these people like they running a country, and they're not running anything. Prince Harry, every time he makes a move, he has a bowel movement. People make a comment about it. Every time Meghan Markle, she goes grocery shopping, y'all talk about it. It makes front news. And I'm confused as to why. And here she is, black, like I told y'all, these biracial, quote unquote, these biracials, these super babies, as I like to call them, these super babies are marrying white. They are not marrying black. They are marrying white. Meghan Markle wasn't linking up with no black man. And then she running around. And I always, when she met, I didn't care. Like I told you, I could care two craps about Meghan or her husband or that whole royal family. I don't even think about them. But I think about them when they pop up on TV. It makes my blood boil. But couldn't care less. But the first thing I told my wife was, this was years ago when she was pregnant. I said, I want to know what's going to be on that birth certificate. That's what I said to my wife. And I walked out the room. I like to throw stuff out there in the air and walk away. I said, I want to know what they're going to put on that birth certificate. I love to see that little box that baby's checked off as. Guaranteed it's white. They not going to have no royal baby checked off as black. It's not going to happen. And Meghan Markle, you knew what you signed up for. These are the things that you sign up for. So now you want to come out and complain that, these people made me feel so uncomfortable. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Man, you want to get into the race fight and join the race debate. I guarantee she didn't speak her mind any other time. She kept her mind quiet until she left. She didn't say any of this while she was living there. If it bothered you that much, you should have spoke your mind right then and there. You should have called a press conference when you were in England, and you should have had the Queen sitting right beside you and make all of these people whom made you feel uncomfortable answer at that press conference to all of your accusations. You should have done that. But instead, she waited until she fled the country, and she waited till she got someplace safe, and then she wanted to come on TV and cry and complain. But look, race isn't about safe. I don't know what y'all have been taught, but This racial movement, it's not about being safe. And that's what all of these people who are in interracial relationships want to be. They want to be safe. Tyra Banks, you ain't as loud and opinionated as Tyra Banks has ever been. You ain't heard her say nothing since any of this has been going. Since George Floyd, since hell, even Trayvon Martin. You haven't heard her say a word. At least I haven't. And she used to pop up in my news feed. I don't know how these people pop up. I got to keep clicking. I'm not interested in these stories. But you haven't heard her come out and say anything. But I'm just trying to figure out, Meghan Markle, you waited until you got someplace safe and now you want to speak up. Same with Halle Berry. Again, she's not a militant. She's never been involved in any racial equality. You know, she may speak she used to talk this stuff all the time when she considered herself black. And then once she started dating white men, she just shut her mouth. And she married a blonde Greek god or whatever, had a little baby with him. This was, I think, it wasn't her first marriage, because her first marriage was to the black singer. I forgot his name. I don't even know his name right now. Sung Spend My Life With You, but I think he was on that record. But her first white husband that she had a baby with, she didn't mention anything. All was happy in paradise. It was all love and everything was happy in paradise. And then the marriage broke up. And then now all of a sudden, now that your marriage is falling apart, now you want to come out, yeah, he used the N-word. Now you want to play race because now y'all having a custody battle over the baby. I'm not making this up. Go back and look up Halle Berry and that divorce. That divorce got real nasty in the news. She accused him of being a racist and using the N-word. Then he said that her baby isn't black. Now they fighting over the baby's race. I'm going somewhere with this. Look, like I told y'all, that girl told me, being black is a way of life. Being Islam too is a way of life. Being black is a way of life. And if you are so down, and if all of these people are so embedded in the civil rights movement, you would have thought that they would have had a black woman so to make their life comfortable. But again, I think all these black Americans think that they can sex their way out of racism. And I think that they felt as though it was their civic duty to marry a white woman or a white man so that they could create super babies and get rid of the racial issue. I have no idea. And you know how I feel about that. And the other lady, again, not a militant, but then now she wants sympathy. Last year, she popped up in 2020, I do believe. Some black woman with her white man, her white husband. Oh, I can't sell my house. My house appraised for $100,000 less than the rest of our white neighbors because they came and did an appraisal on my house and they saw my black picture hanging up. And they knew this was a black house, so they appraised it for $100,000 less than our neighbors. So we did an experiment. We took down all of the black pictures. We took down everything with my black face in it. We took down the African drums. I don't know. I'm paraphrasing. I'm making this up. As y'all can see, I'm being facetious. We took down the African drums. We took down anything that looked like a black person or a black person lived here. And now the house appraised for $200,000 higher than everyone on this block. So that was our social. We're victims of racism. And she's standing on the front, her and her white husband, smiling. They don't look sad. You knew what you signed up for. You chose to live with that white man and live in that white world. I don't know what to tell you, lady. But I just wanted to run down this, and this is just a small list. This is a small list of a big list of people. You know, it's just these black militants, white love. I'm just confused by it. You know, like, obviously, again, like I told y'all, we are psychologically damaged. We don't love ourselves. You cannot blame, again, I'm going to say that, I'm going to make another post about this. You can't blame Trump or any of these white people for saying the stuff that they say about us. They're saying that we're a shithole country, you know, Africa and black neighborhoods, for saying all of the stuff that they say. If we follow suit, I'm not trying to say that it is. I'm not trying to say what he says is true, because I live in a black neighborhood. But you can't say, you know, you're black and you're proud, or black is beautiful, and you say, yeah, we're beautiful people and we're queens and gods, and you don't even marry a queen or a king. Every person you date or marry is white. Harry Belafonte, Sidney Poitier, Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon, you married light skin. I don't know what woman Nick State marrying, but there's confusion with this, and this is obviously something that they have to psychologically work out. That you couldn't find anybody on your level that was in your racial class to marry. You felt as though there was no one good enough. Meghan Markle felt there was no other black man good enough for her. Halle Berry felt no black man. Well, Halle, she's been going back and forth. I think once they grabbed the hold of Halle Berry in black movies, they took her from black movies to white movies and just surrounded her with white men. Like they doing all of these black women. They doing all these black women like this. Carmine Jogo surrounding her with white men. So Tandy Newton surrounding her with white men. They surround all these light-skinned black women or desirable black women with white men. They do in movies. And I think that once you start working around these people every day, you become super comfortable with them. And then you just wind up living in their world. I'm just being honest. So, but that's just something to think about, black militants, white lovers. I just think that there's a lot there that needs to be analyzed. I hate that word unpack. There's a lot to unpack here. I think that's the dumbest platitude ever that people are saying, but there's a lot that needs to be analyzed with this. That why so many black leaders have white lovers. And, but they're the main ones out here fighting for black equality, fighting in the struggle, but they couldn't find a black man or black woman to bring them peace in their home. So I'm going to sign off on this. I've talked for way too long. This is the Political Brown Kid. I hope you have a good day. Think about what I said, and also hit me up if you want to talk about anything. If you want me to talk about anything, you want to ask me any questions, hit me up and I'll see if I can answer them. Peace. Take care of yourself.